Competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. This is what he said in October. And then there's these from 2021, where he says black people should kneel before MAGA and that they should learn their place in society. That is a quote.
I don't know who this guy is, quite frankly. You had me. What I'll say is, I defended Elon Musk tonight.
One of the things about the Trump coalition is that it is seeking to stop dividing Americans by race and start uniting Americans by our unique American values.
Hello, everybody. Guys, let's get right into this panel. MAGA still can't believe why they're called racist. Conservatives, Republicans cannot understand why they're called racist. Check this out. This is unbelievable.
From speechwriter to fired to appointed to one of the most high-profile jobs inside of the Trump State Department. That is Darren Beatty's career trajectory. It's a MAGA comeback story. And if you skip over the part where he was fired for speaking at a conference attended by white nationalists, and if you ignore the smattering of racist and racially insensitive social media posts that he's made, here's a brief rundown of what they are, courtesy of CNN's K-File. Quote, competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. This is what he said in October. And then there's these from 2021, where he says black people should kneel before MAGA and that they should learn their place in society. That is a quote. And believe it or not, one of those people he was talking about was Tim Scott. So I don't know what was going on there.
They could have nominated this guy to be some kind of cabinet secretary. That's so old, 19, 20, 16 or whatever. Look, we're in a whole different...
No, it's not. That's today. This stuff is becoming more and more normalized. You need to be direct with this. And brown people out there, they mean you too. They mean that you guys should be bowing down to white nationalists, MAGA, as well. Guys, this is why I always call for unity. I do believe all of our groups are strong, but we're much stronger together. I ask for unity with Middle Eastern, Muslims, Jews, Hispanics, black people, white people that are against this crap. This is on purpose. The constant attacks on DI, this is on purpose. We'll talk more about it. Let's just let them go.
Different time now. And what I'm getting at is that Donald Trump just pardoned 1,500 white nationalists. Like folks that are out committing crimes every single day. I get tired of my Republican friends talking about safe and
hold on. I don't think we can call, look, the January 6th people who were convicted,
sure.
Many of them were convicted of crimes.
I'm getting in trouble.
Yes, I mean, because you cannot just call 1,600 people white nationalists. Many of them were convicted of crimes. Many of them have ties to far-right entities, militia groups, etc. But the vast majority of them were people who did bad things and were punished for them and now are set free by the
And now you're going to have one as a deputy secretary of this department.
I mean, my problem is this, and this is one of the things that my good friend, who I actually love her writing. I'm gonna buy the book for Scott, but Nicole Hannah-Jones. She talked about the fact that Donald Trump is not pushing an economic agenda, instead he's pushing a racial one. And it's very difficult sometimes when you get caught in the kind of sensationalism of this anti-DEI rhetoric, or the fact that you are eliminating Black History Month or these things in the separate departments. And one of the things Democrats have to do is do a better job of kind of sifting through all of this nonsense and loud racist rhetoric that comes like a bullhorn from this White House, with this example in particular, and talk about the issues that matter. This guy right here is despicable. And the fact that he is despicable, and he is a racist, and he gets to have a seat this close to Marco Rubio, says a great deal about Marco Rubio, and it says a great deal about the President of the United States.
Should the president...
Marco Rubio is an Hispanic. But if you look at him, let's just be real. He would identify, more people would identify him as white. If he never spoke, you just looked at him. He looks like a white dude to most people. And guys, I'll be generous here. I know that every single Republican is not racist, and that you just really don't like some of the policies pushed by Democrats. But when you support Donald Trump and you support Republicans, this is what you're supporting. Like, this is not odd. It's the reason why Trump is always attacking DI, why he told 4 women of color to go back to their countries, why he called African nations shithole countries, why he made it so Obama felt the need to whip out his birth certificate and prove that he's American. I mean, Kamala isn't black. We could just keep going and going. The cats and the dogs, even when he was told this was a lie, keeps going and going. We could just ignore it. Like this idiot Frank Luntz said in my past video. We need to stop calling them racist. I'm sorry. If you do racist things and you say racist things, you're going to be called out by it. You're going to be called out on it. Definitely on this channel. And again, Republicans out there, those who don't truly believe in their heart they're racist, how do you answer to this? You're supporting this kind of garbage.
Congresswoman, rethink this appointment.
Look, I don't know who this guy is, quite frankly. You had me. What I'll say is, I defended Elon Musk tonight. I defended the Trump tariffs. I thought it was a good thing. It's getting our border secured, getting the job done. I don't know who this guy is, and certainly what you put up there and what he said, I think, is inappropriate and disrespectful, and maybe he should be reconsidering that. But look, I think we need to be cautious, the people that we put into these positions of influence and power, and we need to make sure that they are going to be respectful of our nation's values. And it just seems to me that I don't know where this guy came from, quite frankly, so I'm not going to stand here and defend him.
So it's interesting. Yeah, I know. I mean, and you certainly do not have to. I don't know where this guy came.
I'm sorry, but the conversation could go deeper. Why not say, do you understand why Trump would hire someone like this? And how this connects to him constantly attacking DI, the cats and the dogs thing? It would take 5 seconds to just mention these things. Do you not see how this is all a pattern? I mean, a 7-year-old can see what Trump is doing.
From either, but Vivek Ramaswamy had this to say about him.
I would describe him as filling a vacuum in the MAGA movement that I think needs to be filled, which is an intellectual beacon. MAGA movement has been a great populist movement across this country, but one of the things that I think we need in order to take this movement to the next level is an intellectual foundation of who we are and what we stand for.
And I don't even, I mean, maybe, let's posit he didn't know about the racist tweets. The ADL put out a statement back in 2020 condemning him back then. So how is this person who would say that black people need to know their place in society an intellectual of any kind? It's bizarre.
Yeah, I'm like the Congresswoman, I don't have any familiarity with him. However, what I would say is, based on what you read tonight, one of the things about the Trump coalition is that it is seeking to stop dividing Americans by race and start uniting Americans by our unique American values. Some of these things, I think, are divisive by race, which is something we criticize Democrats for, trying to divide us by race, this idea of competent white men. The message is we want the best competent people, period. And this idea of kneeling before a political entity, the only person you should kneel before is God. And so I think some of these people are provocateurs, and I think they say things for their own personal reasons. I think if you're Trump, the question is my movement about a continuation of division along racial lines, or a continuation of the unification? Because he did better with minority voters than any Republican in a half a century.
There's one quick point that I want to make before we wrap, and this will be really quick. One of the people that he said needed to kneel was actually a Republican intellectual. Her name was Kay Cole James. We are 180 degrees different on public policy and politics, but a 70-year-old black woman doesn't need to be told by anyone that she needs to be kneeling to anything.
That is exactly right, everyone. Thank you very much.
And guys, I don't know why this segment was so short. This needs to be talked about more, but nonetheless, let me give you my spiel here. Scott Jennings is such a coward. You see the leeway? See how gently he talks about Trump? Oh, Trump, maybe, you talk about uniting us. Maybe you should. Trump talks about uniting us? Are you effing kidding me? Trump is not about dividing. He attacks every group that's not white in a racist way. Like, I'm not going to keep bringing it up. It's just non-stop. Trump got sued for it because he wouldn't rent to black people. I mean, like, guys, this is unbelievable to say that Trump came down the escalator in 2016 calling Mexican criminals and rapists and all this garbage. It's all been racial. Your campaign was all racial this past campaign. Kamala isn't black. Do you guys forget this? Elon Musk and salute, and Scott Jennings, you were defending that salute. Why don't you do the salute? It's not a big deal, right? And understand why they'll defend Elon Musk, because he's super rich and powerful, and they're afraid. This is why I say Republicans are cowards. They're weak. And guys, I've mentioned this before, or very early on when I started making videos. I talk about racism a lot because, for one, I think it's the most disgusting thing. It's just barbaric to me that this is even an issue. That literally someone's skin color, someone's religion, or someone's hair type, or whatever it is, bothers you that much that you want to oppress them, you want to keep them down, and actively push to keep them down. Guys, I mean, before I forget, Trump is inviting the Proud Boys, a white nationalist group, or there was talks about bringing them to the White House. He pardoned these guys. Anyways, I talk about racism because, God, to me, it's like a life tree, a disgusting one. But I think it forms the limbs for all other forms of bigotry. If you can hate someone based off their skin color, guys, think about how mentally odd that is. It wouldn't be that hard to believe that a woman doesn't deserve to be working and she needs to be in the kitchen, or that gay and lesbian people shouldn't be allowed to get married or anything, or whatever, or eat at a restaurant. Do you understand this? That how if you can find a population that agrees with you that a skin color is dangerous, you can get that same population to believe effing anything. That's MAGA. That's the cult that we talk about. And too many people like Scott Jennings come here and defend it or sanitize the racism. Oh no, that's not what he really is. You know, Trump doesn't want to divide us. He came with the thought of bringing us together. I mean, absolutely insane, guys. And again, the goal of this channel, I think, is to do two things. Is to motivate those on the left that there's a real danger if we don't stay active, if we don't go out there and vote, essentially. And I think another part of these videos is those that are in the, I guess, independents or conservatives that in their hearts of hearts don't believe they're racist. I want them to understand what they're supporting. Maybe that they, I've seen some conservatives, mostly MAGA, in the comments crying like little bitches, but hopefully there's some normal ones that watch this video and maybe they'll change the way they think or start seeing the world differently. And guys, the end goal of all this is because I've said this before 1,000 times. It's because I would like the world in a simple way to be a better place. I envision a world that we get away from this garbage. This racist and hating people because they're different than you in some ways. We're all human. We're all trying to have our best life here and our best chance at living a successful, happy life. Imagine where we could go as a people if we weren't worrying about this stuff. If racists didn't have this hate for the world around them, and those that are being oppressed didn't have to walk around with this oppression monkey on their back. Think about the problems we could solve. Even if we don't solve problems, your life would be 1,000 times better. Doesn't everyone liking each other a bit more sound better? I don't think we're ever going to get rid of the races, but I think they should be outcasted. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments about all this. I think this segment should have been longer. Hopefully they talk about it tomorrow or something, but I'm going to leave it there. Please subscribe if you're not. Leave a comment. Read just about all of them. Thank you for watching all the way to the end if you did, and I'll catch you in the next one.